uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. All right, send your boy some stars. Send your boy some stars. It's live, uncut, unedited. All right, all right. Definitely live, uncut, unedited. This is where you already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. This is where we what? Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. All right, all right, all right. Come on in, come on in. All right. Interesting day today. They laid our dear sister, Chicago police officer for 3 years, 24-year-old black female, Ariana Preston. They laid her to rest today. I was able there to witness the funeral procession. Sheila Rogers, Billy Kinslow. What's going on, Billy? Pat Johnson, Matt Cole, Jessica, JBL. All right, I love being black. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Nikki Hall, what's going on, Nikki? All right. Sharon Latanya, London. All right. All right. Doing great, Cliff Harris. All right. Shout out to my YouTube family. If you don't subscribe to my YouTube, people, we're building up the YouTube, building another base there. Go to my YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube page. I love being black. You're right. I love being black. Tell the truth. And what? And shame the Karen devil. Warren, Castleberry. All right, we're talking about relationship with the police. Why don't we have a good relationship with the police? Right. Don Nicole, what's going on? All right. I love being black. I love it. I love it. Larry Daniels, what's up, Larry? What's going on? Nathan, what's going on? What's going on? All right. Hey, everyone from Vegas. It's my 65th birthday from Chicago, but now I live in San Diego. Happy birthday, my dear sister. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Kevin Thomas family. All right. Don Nicole say, I love being black. That's right. And you know, we want to talk about the relationship with the police and the community. And I know that there's a big, wide gap with the officers. And we're going to talk about it. Somebody said because the police is just as crooked as the rest of these people. Okay. All right. All right. Sheila Rogers. What's going on, Sheila? Matt Cole said many of years of trauma, corruption is not fixing that until the end. Qualify immunity. Okay. Hello, Martin. Hey, Latanya Edmondson. How you doing? Odell Clark Jr., what's up? There's no good relationship with police because there's no respect. Okay. Modesta Otis. All right. All right. Now. Okay. All right, let's call in, talk about it. Call in number 872 299 0808 or 872 297 6389. I see my partner, Vera Giles Norris. What's up, partner? I see you. I see you. I see you. Tamara. All right. How you doing? All right. All right. Somebody call in. Let's talk about our relationship with the police. Sherry Jones McGee. That's not all the police. All right. Well, call in. Tell us about it. We need to know about it. Come on. Let's talk about it. It's live, uncut, unedited. Many years of trauma is not fixing it until they end qualified immunity. All right. Black officers need to stop being afraid to check their white. All right, what I missed that. Their white partners as well. Somebody said, how can we give respect? How can we give respect to police? Somebody, Nathan said, in order to fix the Chicago Police Department, we must first fix our hiring process within the department, and they need to stop developing relationships. They need to start developing relationships with neighborhoods, not just ride down the street, but interact with the community that they serve. Can I get a witness? Okay. Deuce, what's up, Deuce? G. Robbo, Carter Jr., the police is the biggest gang in Chicago. Okay. It's not all the police, but it's most. Okay. Not policemen are all bad. Okay. Deborah Singleton. Hello, Martin, everyone. Wisconsin is watching. That's what I'm talking about. Gangs get no respect. Okay. All right. Gilda Simone. All right. All right, people. I'm yarning. I don't know why I yarn when I get on here all the time. Let's we got an hour, people. I got an hour. So our cutoff time should be around 11. Would you say around 11, 11:30, close to 11:30. Cutoff time. All right, I need some callers, people. Come on, call in number. Talk to 872-299-0808 or 872-297. Make sure you share the video. 6389. Do that favor for me. Share the video. We want to hear what's being said. All right. Share the video. Share the video, people. Share the video. Let me see how many shares I got. All right. Let's share this video. All right. Come on in, people. 3 shares. Oh, look at that, man. Y'all terrible. Come on in, people. Let's share it into the groups. I need some callers. I need some callers so we can talk. We can make it short. Nobody want to call and talk. Let's talk. Wow, we always talking about what the police ain't doing. It's the time. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. This is live, uncut, unedited. All right. Franklin McLeod, I see you. Dre Gaming, hit that button. Hit that like button. That's right. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people. Hit that like button. That's what I'm talking about. Get these jobs up. Minimum wage. Okay. Feed the homeless. Make it better for. Okay. All right. All right. Come on in, people. All right. We're live, uncut, unedited. Make sure you guys share the video or tag somebody in the video. You could definitely do that. That's more good. That's cool too as well. All right. Let's get this rolling. I want to talk about the relationship between the police and the community. All right. Come on in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. Let's talk about it, people. That's right. That's right, Larry Daniels. That's right, bro. They know what time it is. They know what time it is. They know who getting this real news out here. And they ain't playing. Live, uncut, unedited news. Getting it out here. Getting it. I tell you, they know it. Let's talk about it, people. Come on. I need somebody to talk to me. Talk to me. All right. I think I got a call. I'm sorry, caller. I ignored you. Got a caller, y'all. You got a caller. 3268. Come on, caller. 3268. I didn't even
Hey,
see
what's
it.
going on, Martin, man? It's Roosevelt.
All right. Well, let's talk about it, Roosevelt. What you think?
Well, I just think sometimes, well, I think with police, I mean, there's so much dishonesty, and there's so many people, let's just say like myself, who've had like bad experiences and stuff with
Okay.
police, that it's hard for me to sometimes trust them. And the thing is, stuff, this might sound cold, this might sound callous or calculating for me to say, but I'm here and I'm going to say it anyway. But a whole lot of times when an officer dies, sometimes there's always a side of me that always thinks, probably had it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Because they always make them out to be so nice, so heroic, so this. Like I saw the funeral of Officer Preston today. You would think of something that was an angel on earth the way everybody was talking. But my whole thing is how, aside from that, my whole thing is how are you on the street?
Mm.
Or how did you treat people on the street? Because, you find many officers and everything, and I just hate it. That a whole lot of times in any other profession, people, they don't tolerate bad behavior. Like me as a photographer, I cannot go on a job no matter what is done or said and stuff and start cursing at people. Because
Mm-hmm.
people will say I'm acting unprofessional. I remember when I was a nursing assistant years ago, I got fired and stuff just for cursing at someone. But
Okay.
it's because people in the real world don't accept it. But whenever you're a police officer, people, they excuse it. Be like, oh, it's bad, but they're trying to do their job and all of that. People excuse it, and they let more go when it's one of them. Like it's bad for one of us to go and take out our bad day on someone.
Right.
But people excuse police officers for taking out their bad day on people. So that's what I hate about society. And I don't know why that is, why people give police officers so much leeway when this is just nothing but, low down, evil, sinful human being, just like the rest of us. What makes them so top of the line? What makes them so special?
Right.
That's what I wonder. It's just a person at the end of the day.
Rose,
And that kind of bad behavior that some of them do cannot be excused or shouldn't be excused.
Roosevelt, let me ask you a question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you
Yes,
believe
sir.
that Jacques Carr, do you believe that the police is needed?
Yeah, I do. I do. I mean, because no matter how much we talk or whatever like that, like I'm talking, yeah, the other side of me knows that police officers are needed, but it's like, when you see, the other side of it, because I know that, I mean, it's like what you always said, that if we didn't have it and everything, me or you probably couldn't even go out our front door or anything every single day. But it's, I don't know. I know they're needed, but I'm just trying to give people a glimpse of like this other side. And I'm pretty sure other people know the other side because the other side, I think, is what caused people to not trust police because it's a lot of corruption and all of that, stuff that goes on.
Mm-hmm. So you saying now, to be honest with you, with the young lady that
Hmm.
that got shot and killed, Ariana Preston. Now, I believe that she was working inside the station. I don't know if she was working on the street doing street things and all that. So that's what I see that. But I will say
Hmm.
this: she was on her way. I mean, she didn't deserve to get shot down like a dog. Now listen.
Hmm.
I'll say that. I'm not saying she deserved it, and I understand the way you're talking, but it's always the good ones that get shot and killed. same way in society. You have the people that get shot and killed. They go to work every day. They mind their business. They take care of their family. But somehow it's like they get shot by a stray bullet or something. So this particular officer, she was on the force for at least 3 years. She was a student, a college grad on her way to get a master's, finish her master's within a couple of days of her getting killed. Um, so, I mean, with all that being said, and she's a black woman, I would say that that's what you would want to represent the black community, a person such as herself. That's me.
Well, I found the whole. Well, I guess I look at that a little bit different because
Okay.
it just seems like, I mean, with, and I know you're going to disagree with what I'm going to say because I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I feel that, sometimes when, I know that they always say that we need more black mayors or black doctors, black lawyers, black firefighters, black police officers, or what have you. But it just seems like whenever they get into these kind of positions, especially, something like that, they begin to adopt some of the attitudes and thoughts of some of the, or more of the white officers. Because when they become police officers, like they're no longer black, they become blue. So it's almost like they spout the talking points of all the white officers. So even though they're black, they start, spouting white supremacist talking points, to where they start looking down on the rest of us and everything. And, start to treat the rest of us, who are not police officers, just like we're their doormats.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this happen, even experienced some of this. And this is how come I know. I mean, I think I've had more problems. I've seen black officers act more aggressively, and this is just what I've seen, than white officers.
Okay. So, do you think this relationship with the police officers here in the city of Chicago is going to be better, get better? What do you suggest?
Oh man, sometimes I've been thinking, about this stuff for years and years, I tell you. And I don't know, sometimes when you think it's going to get better, then, it doesn't. And I just, I don't know what would make it better. The only thing I think that could make it better is, I think the community, this just something I'm coming off with the top of my head since you asked me. I think that the community really wants to see accountability because, if on any other job, if you mess up, especially in your probationary period, even when you become later, they might suspend you or you got rid of, they'll fire you or whatever. I think, if I was in charge of the police department, if a person for their first time lied on a report for the first time, they're gone. You do something out in the street, you raise your voice, so you curse at a person out on the street and act unprofessionally. If I'm in charge, you're gone. So I think that they need to clamp down on, certain offenses just like that. Because anytime you look at any kind of case of any police officer who has shot someone, anytime they go back and look at that officer's record. I mean, look at Derek Chauvin, who murdered George Floyd, or if you look at Darren Wilson, who murdered Mike Brown. If you look at Derek Chauvin's record, he has he had 19, 20 open complaints.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way, there's no other job that you could have where you could be a doctor, a lawyer, even when I was a nurse, and have open complaints against you and still be working. It can't happen. So I think that they need to clamp down on even the small things and get rid of them, even if they do something wrong the first time. Because if you do something wrong the first time, you'll be willing to go and do it a second or third time. Then after a while, because of who you are and what kind of job you have, it makes you emboldened to keep on doing it, and you'll never stop.
Roosevelt, Franklin McCloud
Hmm.
said complaints are not convictions. That makes sense.
Now, I'm uh, explain this to me like I'm a 2-year-old. Exactly to you, what is that kind of what statement? What does that mean to you when he said that? Because I'm not getting it.
Well, he just said complaints are not convictions. Other words, that means you can have complaints against you. That don't mean necessarily they are true. They're found to be true. Because once you slap handcuffs on people, somebody's going to make a complaint against you. Period. You put the
Yeah, but
handcuffs on
open
too hard.
complaint, several open complaints
Yeah.
that have never been solved. Because I don't think the police officers should serve when they still have open complaints against them that have not been solved. Now, if there's an investigation and the complaint has been closed, that's a whole different story. But 18, 19 open complaints like that, I mean, maybe some you didn't do anything, but if you got that many, you done something.
Okay. Agree. So what can we do to bridge the relationship with the Chicago police officers and the citizens and the community? You haven't really given me that. What can we do? What is it to do?
Well, there's nothing for us to do because, we're just regular people and we're just regular civilians. I think it's incumbent upon the police officers, because there's many of them who keep on messing up. People like the old Sergeant Khalid Muhammad or, this other Sergeant Watts and many others who keep on messing up. So I think it's up to them to help to figure out what to do and bridge the gap. So it has to start with them with accountability.
Okay.
And I think once the people see some accountability, then I think that people will trust. I mean, there's no way that they should take someone's complaint and just because they're complaining. And sometimes you can complain and the complaint never, they always try to tell us, don't solve the problem on the street, solve it in the courtroom. But a whole lot of times this stuff, they don't even get to the courtroom because if we try to say something, even if we're 100% right, though, nothing never happened.
Well, Roosevelt, let me say something. When was the last time you called the Chicago police?
Well, that's been a long time for me.
Tell me. Can you tell me the last?
Long
tell
time
me.
ago.
Tell me. I don't care how long. If it's 10 years,
I
5
can't
years.
because it was years ago.
What was it about? What'd you call them for?
Well, I remember this was like I had to do it. I had to say maybe 12, 13 years ago when I was walking to the store late and everything, and one guy on the porch and everything kept on wanting to talk to me and came up to me like in a threatening manner. And even when I came back from the store, walking back in the same direction, even though, some other people who he was living with told him to stop doing it and leave me alone or something, he wouldn't and everything. I called the police when I got home.
And what was your complaint? To the
There's
police.
this person who was bothering me when I was walking.
Okay.
And I told them approximately like where the house was and all of that.
Okay. What did you want the Chicago police to do?
At the time, I didn't know like what I wanted to do or what I wanted them to do. But I don't know. I just thought that at the time that's just like the best thing.
Okay.
But still, I don't think that one has to do with the other. Just because you call the police and they happen to do something for you or whatever because you asked or they came or took a report, that's their job to do that.
Okay. All right.
But but it's not their job and everything just to cuss at people and I've seen some of them talk to people any kind of way that they want. And the thing is, they dare you to do it because as soon as you do it, the first thing that they want to do is, maybe, threaten to arrest you for disorderly conduct or something like that.
Right.
But it's okay for them to talk this way.
Okay.
It's so hypocritical. I mean, it's almost kind of like the false preacher. How are you going to stand in the pulpit and tell me thou shalt not steal when he's stealing every day? He's running over the tithes and offering. We would talk down on the pastor who did that. Why are we excusing bad behavior of police officers? Because they're police officers. I don't get it. And I wish somebody could explain this to me.
Well, let me ask you a question. do you feel that the police that's working, or the ones that's working out in the streets, are risking their lives?
Yeah, but that's what they signed up for.
I'm asking you now. So
Because if you took it,
hold
yeah,
on.
I do.
Hold it. So, do you know that as an officer that's out here, that's fighting crime or whatever, it's a possibility for them not to come home? That's a stress.
Still, that's what they signed. That's their job.
Okay.
If you don't like it, get out of it.
Okay.
You signed on for that when you took that job. You knew the risks.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, this is something, a whole lot of them, they want to play the victim role,
Right.
I start talking about, oh, well, I was scared and I didn't think I was going to make it home to my family. I mean, you know what could possibly happen. I mean, if you get that scared, I mean, maybe a change of career is in order. Maybe an exciting career in travel or electronics or something, but not to be a law enforcement officer.
Roosevelt, wouldn't you think anybody that's working any profession, knowing that they can lose their life on the job, don't you think that's some type of way of mind bothering? It's not to be taken lightly.
I'm pretty sure it is mind bothering. I mean, but so what? We all have stress we all have stress every single day. I mean, God, I might be out here in these streets every single day, but sometimes I know out in these streets that some things could happen. So I know I'm out here risking my dome. So anytime you're thinking of this kind of stuff, any of it could cause stress anytime you're dealing with people.
Okay.
And that's in everybody. Everybody's job has some stress. I mean, even, doing photography, sometimes it might not be the same level of stress. I'm going to give you that. But it has sometimes this level of stress. Because I remember like a few years ago, I shot an Islamic wedding. I would have to say, it wasn't the bride, it was the groom. Boy, I never had such a, let's just say, discriminating customer ever in my life. It seemed like when he saw the pictures, everything was wrong. And I had to work very hard to make the pictures look right the way that he wanted them to look. I mean, it was stress. When people pay you their hard-earned money and, you're trying to make things right and everything. So we all have certain levels of stress. Now, I do have to admit it wasn't the same amount. Because, no one's going to kill me or anything like that if I don't get their pictures right. You know what I'm saying? I just might lose business if I don't get it right. But I know that they are out here, risking their lives and everything.
Okay. So should that be taken into consideration?
So I would almost have to say no, because I don't think that you could still, no matter what, come and take your stress out on people who might not have caused it. Most of all, people who don't deserve it.
Okay.
I mean, don't get upset and yell and curse at me all because you're stressed out. Because I didn't do it to you.
Okay. All right, hold on. Call in number 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. All right, we're looking for some more callers. We're talking about the relationship with police officers and the community. We have a caller said that overall he was saying he don't think it's a good relationship, and the black cops are worse than the white cops. Is that correct, Roosevelt? I don't want to lie on you.
Yeah, or at least, you're not lying. I mean, I did say that, but maybe that's just my experience too. So maybe some other people might feel that the Latin cops are worse, or maybe the white ones are worse. That's just my experience and what I've just seen or been through.
Okay. Now, can you admit that the police is needed?
Yeah, I can admit that.
Okay. Why you think we need the police?
Well, I told you, because I know that, no matter what me or you might say, no matter what kind of problems that, I've had with them and everything before, because, I'm speaking out of my bad experience. But I know that they're needed because I understand that, there's good people out here, but it's also a whole lot of bad people out here. And crime is going to still keep on going on. And you got to have a system in place to put this, crime that's going on in check. It's like what I said before, that if there were no police, you or I couldn't, probably walk outside your door, go any place. Because, we would fall prey and victims to, the trash that's in the street. But with that being said, at the same time, just because they're needed, I would not want to be mistreated by an officer either, just for no reason.
Okay. Now, what would you like to see the Chicago police or any other police, suburban police, to do when it comes to the community? What would you like to see changed? And I got another caller.
Well,
Go ahead.
thought so. I think I think.
Go ahead.
I'm okay. I'm gonna finish up what I'm saying quick. But I think, like I told you before, it has to do with I feel respect, because I think the community, it does want respect. Be no matter what. Always be respectful, be kind, be courteous. Keep those curse words at home, because you keep on doing that. That's just not a stress of the job. That's just who you are. You always say that if somebody shows you where they are, believe them. So, and I think that if, just the little things, you start there, just think of that we're all human, and that we all, should be approached and to, deserve to be spoken to with some respect. And also with police, if you do something and you make a mistake, be man or woman enough to apologize and say you're sorry, and to do something to even show you're sorry. But a whole lot of times, police, they could be wrong about something. They don't say that they're sorry or anything. They just walk away. They don't do anything. So you just left there just feeling a certain way. So I think that if we get back to the golden rule to, treat each other like we want to be treated, and everybody respect everyone, I think that we could start there, to begin like the small part of healing.
Okay. Hold it right there. Hey, caller, 8371, live, uncut, unedited. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from the West Side.
All right.
Community.
All right.
All right.
The question is, the relationship with the Chicago police and the community. What you think about that? What is your saying? What you got to talk about? That's what I want to talk about. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, the relationship is historical from the 60s, 70s, 80s. All your white, Irish, and Scottish police officers who took their badges and handed to their kids and their grandkids to come into the black community to do whatever they want to do, knock you upside the head and get away with it. Now, since we're in the new age, you have the other officers, Latinos and black ones, that join forces with them, but they have been told you're part of the blue team. So therefore, they will go against anything just to side with the police, who's eventually going to turn on them. So this is a historical thing.
Mm-hmm.
You see it all throughout the West Side of Chicago and any major city that you go in the USA, all Irish and Scottish and predominantly black neighborhoods, and this is what they have been practicing on us. Now, we're talking about the problem between the community and the police officers. That's correct. Problem between the community and the white police officers. And I named those two groups specifically, Irish and Scottish, because they were the ones who's mainly controlling the community in every major city. So when we're talking about problem between the community and the police officers, we have to be a little bit more direct and say the racist police officers. And people are not using this word racist. They're too afraid to say it. They don't want to feel like they're targeting a particular group. We need to target a particular group because in our community, we're not the dominant force. So what is going on when I hear people saying, well, we have problems because this and that? No, they racist. It's a racist system. And they know they're going to do whatever they want to do and get away with it because as black people, we learn to accept things as the norm. We keep saying the police officers. No, the racist Irish and Scottish, now the new white Latino ones, and the brothers just go along because they don't have the heart to stand up and say, hey, this is wrong what you're doing to my people. Because how many of those white guys in certain white areas up north are getting beat down by black police officers? Come on now.
Good point. Let me ask you a question. What are some of your experiences with the police?
I will tell you this much, though.
Mm-hmm.
I had a police officer that said, hey, come here. I'm looking for someone. He got a description. Lay me down. I got my top of my hand. I lay down. He put his foot on my back. I said, can you give me the description? And he said, I'm not sure you put the description. Like, man, you put a footprint on my back, man. What you do that for? I'm going to catch you while you're dirty. I said, man, I never even got suspended from high school. I've never been in trouble a day in my life. So why are you going to assume all that? You get about it, get about it here. I said, okay, I'm gone. But the problem is that I'm afraid to call the police in certain situations, especially when it's domestic. You know what I mean? Now, there's some good cops, but I can tell you this much. I've never had a bad experience with a black cop. I'm going to be honest with you because I am extra respectful. I've never had one. I said, hey, sir, how you doing? How's your day? But when I see those white cops, they're aggressive. I know if they got an aggressive black cop, I speak a certain way to them. I know the pressure on the job. So, yeah, they are turning against us now. I got certain cop friends, one of them who actually had retired 3 years ago, moved to Costa Rica. I said, man, dude, we be in that locker room fighting them white racist cops. They don't report that, man. I said, what you mean? He said, we go out, some white boys, man, they grabbing the brothers, man, trying to do this and do that to them. We like, man, we'll wait till we get to the locker room. And I said, bro, it's straight up fighting and brawling up there. I said, well, I'm glad to hear something like that. I said, but at the same time, why are none of these people speaking about the racism? Why? I mean, here's the black community should say. Can we select our cops for our community? I'm in the 15th district.
Mm-hmm.
And when I seen something happen on Madison one time, it's like about 8 or 9 cars, a bunch of police officers, lights everywhere. I seen about 2 black police officers in the middle of Madison, the heart of the black community on the west side. So we have to actually go to these districts and say, wait a minute, why are some of these people that police officers, they don't look like us? How do these people get these jobs? From their second generation, third generation, fourth generation. And they doing this stuff and they know what they're doing. We can't get our own police officers, police officers. That way we have no complaints. So we should actually talk to this new mayor and say, hey, listen, if there's a crazy police officer up in this, then as a community, we should vote about our district. And let's see all the records of all the ones who act crazy. And I guarantee you, you can go to their father's record, grandfather's record. When they put those Scottish uniform on, you see they were all nothing but devils. Until we get them out the police force in our community, this is going to be a problem that we're going to even blame the black officers.
Let me
they
ask
do
you
something crazy. We got to be like, why? Okay, bro.
Let me ask you another question. What would you like to see change in the police department?
I'd like to see more black people in prominent positions and actually giving power besides the title. Now, what I'd like to see is that the police officers in the district, we get a list of those who's in our district, all of them. Get to know who they are. And whether it's 25th and it's the 15th, and we can actually say, hey, listen, because they work in our district and we're paying our taxes, we want to know their history and what kind of flags they got on their records. Now, they serving the public. You say, okay, you're serving us. Someone say, well, if the police can't do their job, and if they can't do their job, they want to be able to knock them side your head and act like and get away with it. We want to get rid of those. I mean, remember the guy who was on Channel 2 News who said, yeah, I killed 2 of them. I mean, he was on one Savini's report. And before Mayor Lori Lightfoot got in, he said, you said this guy was going to be force. This guy's even been promoted. Now, why is this dude, this white dude, that Irish white named brag about he done killed too many people and got away with it and still on the force. Let a black one even talk about something like that. So let's see if our mayor, our new police chief, let's see if they're gonna be those same old tokens who's just talking and back up the person that's doing it. And also too, there should be a new law for policemen. If your officer, if your partner is out of hand and abusing anyone out there, and you report it, you don't get to lose your job. Remember the sister that jumped on the white officer's back because he's abusing that guy, and he fired her? They're going to name a new law after her where you can report your partner. Now, when the officer does something like that and goes out of hand, his partner was with him, his partner didn't participate, but his partner shown to kind of breaking it up, we need to say, but that officer don't get fired.
Well, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you called the police?
2 weeks ago.
Okay, what was the matter concerning?
I come in the house, it's 12 o'clock in the morning, I hear some damn mariachi music playing to 12 o'clock midnight in my Austin community. I say, hey, listen, that's louder than the rap music. That's a house that's 2 blocks away. I called, I said, well, I just came in the house from that area. It's 12 o'clock midnight and it's still playing. The mariachi music, and you know I was some rap music at the name, I had to call that person. But now I have to realize these people are here. Wow. And their music was louder.
So what happened? Did the music cease?
About one something, when I called them, my neighbor down the street called them, my brother downstairs called them, and somebody called them too, about an hour and a half later.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, another question. How do you feel about the police that's out here that's work? Now you have some police officers, they only work in the jail, they only work in, they work in the clerical part, they don't do the street. How do you feel about the ones that's working in the street that's at risk of losing their life every day? What do you think about them? What's your take on that?
Well, I understand there's a great take on that because they are at risk of losing their lives, these young guys we got around. Now, they do need certain laws to protect them. Example, as long as they have the body cam on and they feel that their life is at risk with that body cam on, they have the right to protect themselves and have laws to protect them. Now, that same police officer has a record of doing something crazy and saying, hey, I'm afraid I fear for my life. If you fear for your life that much, don't take the job. You know the job is dangerous. You become a quarterback, you know the job is dangerous. When you take on those jobs and you're getting paid that kind of money, and if you are trained to make split-second decisions, and it can cost you or somebody's life, you have to be trained for that. And they're taking the job when they do the job is dangerous.
Now, let me ask you a question. Both you and Roosevelt. I'm going to let Roosevelt answer. I got another caller. Perfect. I want to ask you one more question real quick. Do you believe that a person that's a police officer, that's racist, prejudiced, biased, working in a community, that he views the people as being less than, do you believe that he or she will serve that community to the best of their ability?
No. And they cannot be reformed. This is something that they receive from their parents and their parents' parents. And like I said, when you look at the old Irish and Scottish cops from the 70s to the 80s and to the 90s, and they pass that thought to their kids and their kids' kids, they can't be reformed. So why are we hiring these people? We're hiring 3 and 4 generations if we don't want to break because they want to be police officers. Number one, they cannot be reformed. If you put them out there, they have a mind of a violent felon. They just on the other side. And they can do what they want to do. There is no type of taking them off the street and say we're going to give them certain classes. There is no type of this and that where we're going to give them this. They can't be reformed.
Okay. Hold it right there.
They have that double mentality.
Yeah. Hold it right there. All right. I got a new caller. 6847. Hey, caller, live, uncut. Where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm on the south side, Brother Martin. How you doing?
Good. So I'm just talking and just we're talking about the relationship and the community with the, so what do you think about the relationship? What can we do to change it? Is it getting better? Is it, what? Let's hear from you, brother. Come on, talk to me.
All right. First of all, I just want to say how proud, underline that word proud, very proud of what I saw from Chicago Police Department today at Officer Ariana's funeral.
Preston.
I felt good to be a citizen of Chicago and to see that sort of love within the Chicago Police Department. We saw watch commanders, we saw co-workers, and they all came across human. Now, I know a lot of times we see stuff on the internet, on TV about rogue officers and other states, other parts of the country. Any of those folks are wrong, but for the most part, you could talk to any Chicago police officer. Like you come with them, come at them with some sense, they're gonna give you some respect back. Now, I think a lot of times people step over the line and want to challenge the authority. But I think overall, man, I think we should be blessed to be in Chicago because we don't have to subject ourselves to the things that other people have to deal with in Texas and Florida and some other states. But I was touched by Officer Ariana's co-workers, the genuine love and the love that she had for her job. So I think again, things could work well. I know her watch commander, her boss, told a story about how she said, hey, as a rookie, she came to him and said, hey, I want you to know my name. So when you see my name on reports, you'll know the face. I was proud of what I saw today. And I think that we should feel good that we're in a situation of growth with the new administration. And if we treat them with some sense, they'll throw it right back at us. Respect was
No. Wow.
Why you say no, brother?
Brother, everything you said about the system was, I agree with you, but you talking with symbolisms that never worked for the Black community. You can talk to the police. I talked to the police officer in sense. How you doing, sir? He said, shut up. I said, well, sir, I didn't say anything. And he said, shut up. Okay, I'm going, bye. I didn't say anything to him. So what you're saying, brother, remember I said white racist cops. Stop thinking that all cops are good. You don't want to admit that these are some racist cops out here. So you sound like you believe in the symbolism that we gonna shout, we gonna dance, we do everything to it, but they gonna forget about that beautiful sister later on and gonna move on and do something crazy to the next Black person, or might be the next Black cop. So you coming in with all this, I was proud to see this, proud to see that, but you don't see that proudness in the street.
That's the truth.
Why these officers?
That's the truth.
These proud officers. Why these proud officers in the street going up and down the west side of Garfield and what's called this? So all that. Let me tell you something. All that symbolism is what got Black people in trouble right now.
Let me stop you right there. It's good and bad with everything. And if you're looking for bad, you're going to find it. And normally, if you're looking for bad, you bring in bad. So that's on you.
No, that's true. But here's the thing about it. I've seen some respectful people got dissed by some racist white cops. See, stop saying cops. Say let's specify racist white Irish and Scottish cops. We're not saying all cops are bad, but most of them are. They've been here for 3 and 4 and 5 generations.
Did you watch the funeral today?
Talk to a cop.
Did you watch the funeral today, bro?
I watched everything today.
Nothing moved you?
Yeah, I was no, because I what moved me was the family and the beauty of that person and everything they said about her, because she's a beautiful sister. And I was hurt as to what happened. I want to shed a tear before when I first heard that. But brother, you talking about a ceremony, and when that ceremony ends, the sister's gone, the pain is hurt, and those same racist cops go back in that street and do something else again, and then those same fools out there and sing shit again like that too. So
you think a black watch?
Like that,
do you think a black watch commander? Do you think a black Watch Commander is going to tolerate that under his authority?
Yeah. You know what, come? You know what I think so? You know what I think so? Because every black person that has been in those positions, from police chiefs to anything else, back in the 80s into the 90s, has tolerated those officers and have never came out publicly and say, hey, I'm going against the officer that killed Laquan McDonald. He should be locked up for life. Not one black person who's a police officer in a higher position has said, I'm taking a stand against him. Now, if you can find somebody like that, 3 or 4
Are those people still in authority today?
No, you don't answer that. I want you to answer that
question. Are those
question,
people still in authority today?
No. You know, I come when
so
they,
you fighting a battle.
Wait.
You fighting a battle from 30 years ago.
No. We can go.
We live in 2023.
Yeah,
and you're talking about something from the 80s.
No. I'm saying it's generations of this that's going on and still going right now. Now, you asked me, do I think this commander will stand for that? Eddie Johnson stood for it. Persons before him stood for it.
Are they in authority now?
Think that when these persons was out with
are they in authority now?
Positions, no, he's not in right now, but that's recent, man. That's not long.
You fighting old battles, cuz.
No.
We got to look forward. Your rearview mirror is a lot smaller than your front windshield.
Wait.
You're driving, looking at your rearview mirror. You got to look forward, brother.
So if it happened last week, does that mean it's a long time ago? If it happened 2 months,
no,
it
doesn't mean a long time ago.
No, brother, you taking for these racist white cops, man, because you probably be part of them. You might be want to have a partner who's a white cop and bust somebody black.
Do I sound white to you?
And you might be silent. No, you don't.
Do I sound white to you?
I said,
Crime chaser, am I on?
Hold on, guys. I got a new caller.
Officer.
Let me take this new caller.
Yes, sir.
Let me take this new call. 3470. Go ahead, new caller. Go ahead.
No, you know what? I'm a police advocate. I worked around the CAP's office around the city of Chicago. And this is to the brother that keeps saying, the aggressive brother, the one that's on there saying, well, why are we looking in the past? A lot of this is not in the past. A lot of this is going on now. You got CAP's officers that's in a lot of these districts that the officers don't even know that's there. And this is a fact. You know, I know a lot of good officers and I know a lot of bad ones. White and black. You had a lot of black ones that framed people. They're still framing them. You had a lot of white ones that framed them. So the brother that's sitting up there talking about, oh, we need to look forward. Dude, stop bullshitting the people.
Thank you.
Because I'm an activist for CPD. So you're not going to tell me that bullshit you telling buddy that just said, all right. Because I'm out there. I see everything. You can tell him that shit. You ain't going to tell me that bullshit.
All right, watch your cussing,
Okay, well,
bro.
you just
Go ahead.
said that there's good and bad with everything, right?
Yeah, but
you know what? Talk to him.
Hold on.
You feed that bullshit to him. You ain't going to feed that shit to me.
Hey,
feed it to him.
You got to watch your language, big bro.
Well,
Yeah, you 30. You got to watch your language. Okay,
we see this is what I'm talking about, Martin.
go ahead.
You know, we have to be able to offer respect, even to be agreeable when we disagree.
Mhm.
Be able to show some respect when you disagree. Ain't that right?
Yeah, we gotta have some. Yeah, we have to do that.
Yeah, you know. So regardless if you agree with me or you disagree with me, that's on you.
But that brother works directly with them. He sees this all the time.
Oh, you know, again, let me just throw out his words. He said they're good cops and they're bad cops.
Right.
That's the world, brother. Welcome to America. Welcome to planet Earth. It's good people and bad people anywhere you go.
About people that serve you said the public, that, you put the notes, we're talking about that. We're talking about people that actually go up there, and as he said, they will frame somebody, the black ones too, because they go along to get along, that they will frame somebody. And that, mind you, he said he's out there. He works with them, so his credibility is all, he's with them. You know what I mean? You know, somebody just you will see somebody get beat upside the head, and you won't even go testify against the police officer that actually did it because you don't want to get involved in it.
All right, now you want to put words in my mouth to justify your anger, and I'll pray for you, brother. You know what I mean? But if you look if you're looking for a fight, you'll find a fight. That's the point right there, and that's what our young people need to see from us. Our young people need to see this kind of optimism from the older folks. But if you're always looking for a fight, you're gonna find one.
No, no one's looking out for fights. You got, like I said, you have racist officers that go out there and look at you. When you see that guy get out that car and shoot at Laquan McDonald, and no one moved but him, and he's about to put it back in his gun again. I bet you trying to find some justification why it should be all right that he actually got away with that and got in jail. I bet you'll look for something like that.
Nah, I bet you're wrong.
Well, a whole lot of the officers who were there that night did.
Yes. But his one is shot.
They should have been hit with perjury because they lied on their affidavits, on their police reports.
That goes on every single day. I think that's what he's trying to say. It goes on every single day.
There you go with the excuse again.
That's not an excuse, brother. I just answered your question. You're not accepting my answer. I'm gonna say it again. Those dudes perjured themselves on those reports to justify what happened with Laquan McDonald.
Okay, I'm not saying that part right there at all. What I'm saying is, you're not about the perjury part.
Let me just say something. I'm addressing this thing with both of y'all, and I'm gonna get off the line.
Okay.
But let me just say something. Whenever a white person should say all black people are whatever, that's wrong because all black people ain't whatever. And the same thing with the police department. You just said they're good and bad with it. So you can't say all officers are bad. The system, and we can only pray that the system gets fixed to weed these people out. I think Oprah Winfrey once said that when racism goes away, the old racist people have to die off.
Wow. Like I said, symbolism.
No, that's not symbolism. That's the fact, brother. You know what I mean? So again, I just pray that you look for something good. Because you might be surprised when you find it.
We don't pray when we have the answer. We have the answer. We don't need to pray about it. The answer is to be pissed off every day.
You know, to generalize a whole body of people based on what one or two individuals have done.
Wow.
So that's what y'all. Hey man, I wish both of y'all peace, and I pray that y'all seek it so you can find it because it's out there, brother. All people are not bad,
brother.
Okay.
Well, I wish you could tell them that whenever they approach us.
Well,
because police, they look at all of us as being bad.
Yeah.
This is how they look at us. They're very jaded. But yet we're not. But yet everybody acts like some of us aren't supposed to look at them the same way. Because anytime they approach you, and you seem to me like to be nice. I don't know you personally, but it seems like to me you're a nice guy. I mean, but if a cop pulled you over, I mean, you know, I don't think from the way you're talking that you're some kind of Pookie or Ray Ray or nothing like that. But it's like when they pull you over, they would approach your car still with their hand on their gun and maybe approach you in much more of a threatening manner because they're looking at you just like they look at the Pookies and Ray Rays because they think that everyone's bad since they experience so much bad. This is what they think about everyone. But yet just because, you know, they do certain things, I guess us as citizens, we are not supposed to feel the same way. And we're wrong, or people consider us to be wrong when we do feel the same way.
Well, you agreed with Martin a minute ago when they said that these guys go to work every day, don't know if they're coming home. If they approach your car, they don't know you. They wouldn't know me. But if you talk to them like you got some sense, then that can disarm a situation. Now, I agree with you. Paul, let me finish because I'm trying to agree with you now here. Because there's some, if you give them respect, they're still going to be crazy. But at least you know you did the right thing to start out. You did not escalate the situation. That's the key. I mean, there are lawyers. April Prayer is a criminal lawyer, and she defends people that get stopped by the police, abused by the police, and all of this. She's told me these stories. And she said in about 95% of the cases, when you get pulled over, talk to the damn police like you got some sense. But if you talk to them like you're ready for a fight, they're going to give it to you because they have the authority. You're not going to get your rights out on the street. You get your rights in the courtroom.
But still, they're the professional. I'm not. So I can speak almost any way that I want to. It's them who are the professional. And no matter what, you have to be professional. You can't just go and get crazy, I don't think, just with everybody, all because, you know, your ego gets inflated or, you know, you don't like what someone said or over some words. I mean, because it seems like to me, anytime we deal with, let's just say some kind of high-profile police shooting or killing, even if you want to take something like the Sandra Bland thing, it's always over something very, very small. It's the reason why certain things happen, then all of a sudden an officer's ego gets inflated, and then it leads to something much more. And that shouldn't be over something so small, over some words. No.
Well, you see, that was in the South. Sandra Bland was used to dealing with police up here. So, like, again, there are some good things you can put, some good takeaways from this whole thing, but we can't look at, no matter where you go, and say all people are this or all people are that. You're gonna have some good and bad with everything, but if you show them that you got some sense, and you show them that you are not their enemy, you can disarm that situation before it gets crazy.
No, all the time. I watch those videos all the time.
Well, you watching videos.
And I watch
we
videos on YouTube about
you
this
watch
stuff
them live.
every day.
And
all right.
the thing about it is that you can, like, I make an example. One of my best buddies, he's a real good guy, real easygoing guy. He asked the officer, yes, sir, no, sir. He said, I'm in the car with him. He said, man, I said, what? I'm like, I said, sir, he just said, yes, sir, no, sir. So the man turned around and said something to me. I tell big bro, I ain't gonna say nothing else. Don't say nothing like that. And he looking at me like, let me see your ID, yo, this and that. I'm not even driving. I said, but I'm gonna be quiet. So I'm saying that some of these guys got chips on their shoulder. They wake up with this stuff because it's embedded in them when they go home to their family. They said, yeah, how many N-words have you put in a place today? See, they practice and laugh at stuff like that.
Well, those people are gonna get weeded out. But the thing is that we should be teaching our children to do the right thing when it hurts, especially when it hurts, because there's too many cameras out here. If they doing wrong, they're gonna get caught.
That's
Just
true.
don't make them turn you, and then now they got justification for excessive force or justification to treat you wrong. Don't justify nothing.
All right, let me say something.
I mean,
Hold
I
on,
agree
brother.
with you.
Hold on. I agree with the last caller. He is correct. A lot of times people, and I notice what is called freedom of speech, and I know that. And a lot of times we upset.
Right.
I get upset when an officer pulls me over. But what I try to do, and I'm not always perfect, I said, let me calm down and don't let me get that aggression toward them. You know, I was pulled over like maybe 3 weeks ago, twice in the same week. And the officer said, hey, you got such car. I said, hey, don't start that now. But not in a real aggressive way, because I knew where he was going, because I'm driving a sports car. Now you assuming that I'm speeding. Then, you know, I said that. He said, cool. He said, well, if your lights come back cool, I'll just give you a warning. You know, and it was cool. So we have to, listen, we have to live another day to fight in court. Now, we know we can have those videos where everybody, the person have done everything they're supposed to do perfect, and they still get it. It can happen. It can happen. But let us try, as the brother said, not to escalate something when we get pulled over, because you're not going to win when it comes to the police. You're not going to win. It's not going to happen. You're not going to win. You know that. We know that.
True.
You're not going to win.
That's true.
Because when you stand in front of that judge, who word you think he's going to take? It's going to take the officer. You know, he's going to take the officer.
Because they could care less about you.
Right. And I'm gonna say this too. Sometime that body cam might not be on. You think it's on, it may not be on.
Mhm.
So we have to, at the end of the day, it's about coming home. And I always tell people, when you get pulled over in a traffic stop, it can go any way. That could be any encounter with the police can be bad. So what, as citizens, what we need to try to do is to be calm and try not to be aggressive. I'm telling you, those are some of the things that can help us. Now we know, now I'm not saying that's going to work all the time, but most of the time, when we're not aggressive, we can come out alive. I'm just saying it now. I see the videos.
I agree with you.
I'm just saying that. So black men, especially, if you're listening to me and you know you've been caught with your underwear down, don't get to run off at the mouth. You've been caught. Just be quiet. It's best for you to just be quiet anyway, because anything you can say and will be used against you in the court of law. They said a fish can't get caught if he don't open up his mouth. So my point is, both of you guys have a point that was going back and forth. So I understand what both callers said, even the one that was swearing. I understood what he was saying. We're dealing with a system that doesn't work on the behalf of black people. I'll say that. It works perfectly for white people, but not for black people. But we're here. We have to deal with it, and let us try to deal with it as wisely as we can. That's all I'm saying. Now, Roosevelt, they can, in the city of Chicago, when they pull you over, they can keep their hand on the gun. Now, they're not supposed to pull the gun out and point at you just for a regular routine traffic stop. But they can keep their hand on the gun because they don't know who you are. So it's called universal precaution. They have to treat everybody as criminals because they just don't know who's who. No, regardless of how you look. Right. Regardless of how you.
The thing is, when they stop us and stuff, we don't know who's who as far as we're concerned either.
I understand, Roosevelt. I understand.
Excuse me, Martin.
Yeah. Hold on, I got a new caller, baby.
Excuse me, Martin.
Yes. Well,
Excuse me, Martin. Can I say something real quick?
I'm gonna let you say. I got a caller before you, but I'm gonna go and let you say it. Go ahead.
Look, Martin, I carry a gun every day with me. The other day, in an all-white town, with an all-white police department, and I had my gym shorts on. I had just ran out to the store. So my gun is exposed when the police stopped me for a seatbelt ticket. Young white guy. He pulled me over, and he seen my gun on my hip. And I say, I got a permit for my gun. He said, I didn't stop you for a gun. I stopped you for not having a seatbelt on. License, registration, give me 3 minutes. Went, wrote me my ticket, and that was the end of that.
Okay. Hold it right
there. He told me I had a right to have my pistol on. So it all depends on how you carry yourself, too.
Okay. Hold it right
Not
there.
necessarily so. He could have been, in a situation like that, you could have been the nicest guy in the world.
Right.
And still could have turned.
Could have got really
It could have turned for the worse. Listen. Okay, we did admit that. You could do everything correctly and still wind up getting shot and killed. So we all can agree to that because those videos are out there. So what I'm saying, majority of the time, when you're not aggressive.
I got one more fight.
Okay, hold on. I got another call in front of you. Hold it. 6112, come on. 6112, the barber. Come on, because he's been waiting patiently. Come on, caller.
I'm just listening to what everybody's saying. And what I'm going to say is kind of going to relate to what the man was just saying about his experience with the officer who pulled him over and he let him know he had a gun on him. First thing, every time I hear something positive or a question being asked on how we can find positive ways for the police and the community. Since I've been listening, I've been hearing on the back end some negative that leads us back to the point of why it can never happen. And I think that's a big problem too. You know what I'm saying? Based on our building of relationship and developing a relationship with the police. I mean, me personally, 38 years old, I was around when the Jump Out boys, you know what I'm saying, was jumping out in Chicago before they was no longer able to jump out and just frisk you and everything. When I was out there, I'm gonna let you know, if I ain't want to be encountered with the police when the Jump Out boys was out, then I shouldn't have had myself on a corner. So even it happened to me a couple of times, but I always said to myself, like, dang, I shouldn't even been right here, because you will have some, excuse my French, idiot. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to curse, but you have some idiots that jump out, you know what I'm saying, do some extra stuff, you know what I'm saying? But we out there, we know why we out there. Some of us hustling, some of us just standing out there, you know what I'm saying? But the Jump Out boys would jump out. Now, it gets to the point where when the police pulling people over, all police that walk up to your car, first of all, a whole bunch of times I got to be pulled over by the police. I ain't getting no aggressive encounters as soon as they walked up in the car. And I didn't give no aggressive encounter. I never got pulled over by the police where it went out of control, because I knew how to respect the police, and they knew that I knew that they was doing their job. So as soon as you sit up there and show the police some aggression from experience, I've seen it just the other day where I seen a young man out there cussing the police out. It was a black officer and a Latino officer. If people want to speak about color, but at the same time, they end up handcuffing him and didn't give him a chance, and he was in the wrong in the handicap parking spot. You know what I'm saying? So the reaction to how we get encountered the police is totally like crazy. And then we want to blame the police on their reaction. And I ain't not sitting up there speaking for them, but I'm just saying what right is right and what's wrong is wrong. We can't keep on doing stupid stuff or making dumb reactions and then blaming it on a person that reacts to what it is that we did. Now, I did have an encounter with police just about a couple of weeks ago. A police officer stood up there and told me, which I was in Linwood, Illinois. And he stood up there and he tell me, well, this ain't Chicago, you know what I'm saying? And watch, he was telling me to be quiet. And he said, this ain't Chicago. When I say be quiet, be quiet. I mean, so I see that, hey, I knew that was an asshole, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, I said what I wanted to say after he said that, and I let it be. I didn't let it get to the point where it got super aggressive. So with our actions, as black men too, like Mark just said, and I take it fully on the point of agreeing that know how to act, know how to have a certain attitude. So I'm thinking that we could sit up there and just talk to the authority and the law any kind of way and expect a certain result the way that we want it to turn out. Right. It's not going to work like that.
Hold
you
it right. Hold it right there, Rev.
Going wrong. You know you got to.
Hold it right there. Let me go to this next caller. Listen, 6986, I let you talk. Come on, I'm gonna give you another minute. I gotta go. I got another call, 2 callers behind you. 6986, I did let you say something. Go ahead, real quick.
Yeah, I'd like to tell you about got into almost a real deadly encounter with the police. And it turned out to be okay. I got involved into a shooting in my house. You know, black folks, they crazy. They come in your house, try to take over. I had a chick try to attack me with my own butcher knife in my house and chase me around the house with the butcher knife. She was looking for my gun, but she couldn't find it. So she got the butcher knife, chasing me around. I hit my gun, and she lunged at me, so I shot. I don't know if I hit her. If I didn't hit her, she run out the door. She run out, wake up all the white folks on my block. Plus, it's 4:30 in the morning. They get up at 4:30 and go to work. So I got all these white folks outside. The police coming. They come into my house. Now, she the victim, even though she tried to stab me. The police, by the discovery, said the police was at my house in 14 seconds of the 911 call. So I had no time to react. They looked up my phone number because I was an attacker. They called me. They told me to come outside with my hands up. Okay, so before he could say all that, I didn't open the door, slid out the door with my hands up. Because while I'm talking to him, I'm looking out the window. I got 10 white boys got my house surrounded with M16s and shotguns pointed through my windows.
No, man,
So it was no win. It was no win situation. So I slid out the door. I was arrested. I went to jail for a day. Went to court. Beat the case in preliminaries. Beat the case, and when the facts of the case came out, that I was attacked, and the state's attorney asked the police officer, the sergeant, what happened when y'all got to his house? We called him. We called this guy and told him to come out. I ain't gonna say my name. We asked him to come outside, and he came. And then what happened? And they say he came outside, and we was happy to see him, and he was happy to see us. And the judge looked over at me and my attorney and gave us a big eye wink and tongue like an emoji face. 2 weeks later, I got an email with the judge's order that the case was dismissed.
Okay. Hold it right there, brother. Hold it right there. Let me go to the next caller. 7956. Come on, caller. 7956.
Yeah, how you doing, Martin? This is Nathan.
Hey, what's going on?
All right. Yeah. I've had an encounter with the police when I first moved out here to Joliet, and it was a black cop and a white cop. They pulled me over. It was late at night, just getting off work. They pulled me over. I didn't know what the reason why they pulled me over. Maybe because they seen I had a nice car, but they stopped. So they coming up to a red light turned green. I'm ready to turn the corner. They claim I didn't have my signal on to make the turn, which I know I did. But they just wanted a reason to pull me over. And the black cop, he was real aggressive. Yes, he was. He was real aggressive. Like asking me, where you from? I said, I live in Joliet. I just moved out here. Your license say you from Chicago. I said, yeah, I just moved out here. So he said, okay, wait a minute, just don't go nowhere. He went back to his car, and the white guy, he got out. You know, he walked around to the passenger side and, you know, looking kind of strange and everything. But it was the black officer that was aggressive the whole time. And I'm sitting up here, I ain't saying nothing. So then they asked me where I live at. Come to find out, I'm a block away from my house. So that surprised the heck out of the black officer. And so he was like, well, you have a good day, and you got to be careful because there's a lot of niggas out here doing stupid stuff. I'm looking at him like, okay, all right, whatever. Have a good day. But it was just the fact that he wanted a reason to pull me over, even though I knew I was doing the right thing. And then as I was getting ready to pull off, the white officer came up to me and was like, hey, don't worry about him. He was just having a bad day. You didn't do anything wrong, and you have a good day. And so I thought about that for a minute. I said, man, so what was the point of him stopping me? You know, so that was kind of strange. But it's not always the white officer that's aggressive. Sometimes the black, our own, that's aggressive. But it took the white man to tell me, hey, you didn't do anything wrong. He was just having a bad day. My partner was having a bad day.
Okay. Hold it right there. Let me go to this other caller. 0870.
Hey, Martin, this Nikki family.
Hey, how you doing, Nikki?
I just have a couple of things to say. I ain't gonna hold you. I got a different perspective than I used to have towards police officers. You know, as life been going on, y'all gotta understand they human just like we is. You know, only difference is they wear the, you know, they got the blue suit on and they got power. And I feel like, of course, sometimes when police do traffic stops, they nervous, You look, they killing police officers out here like crazy. They got the 14 and 15-year-olds. They feel they ain't got nothing to lose. They shooting them, and it's crazy out here. So, nowadays, people got to understand, why the police is the way they is today. They got families at home too. They got kids and grandchildren. And they just like us. They human just like us. So that's what people need to understand. They always saying, well, the police did this, the police do that. It took 5 police just to do a traffic stop. It's reckless out here now. They don't care about killing no police, and y'all know we fixed that. And the one just got killed, a couple of days ago? So that's why, some police is the way they is. They trying to
kill more of us than we kill them.
You say what?
They kill more regular people than regular people kill them.
I don't think, I think during the past years, sir, I think that the police don't have to kill anyone. It's our people killing each other. They don't even have to do it anymore because our people is doing it to each other. So I don't think that's the problem right now. I ain't seen the police really killing nobody. I see our people killing each other. And that's sad. That's the problem right there. Our people. If you look at it today, it's always our people. They just out here reckless. And, somebody got to it got to stop, and it starts, I guess, at home, or it starts with everybody coming together, trying to stop it. Can't no police, can't nobody do it, can't nobody stop this but our people. Can't no police, no different National Guards and all that. We the only people, we got to get together. We the only people that can stop this. And that's, that's just all I got to say, Martin. I ain't going to hold you.
Okay.
And y'all have a blessed night.
Thank you. Okay. Listen, we're going to close it up. I've been on here like an hour and 22 minutes, but I'm going to go back to 7956. And the question is, this is everybody's question. I just need to hear an answer. What can we do to have a better relationship with the police? I'm asking. I'm starting with 7956. What can we do to have a better relationship with the police? 7956.
Well, the first thing that we need to do to have a better relationship with the police is we need to know how to talk to them, because they are in authority, and their job is supposed to be to serve and protect. And it's up to us as citizens to at least, address them, give them some type of authority, like, and talk to them, like, treat them with respect. Because sometimes you do that, that does go a long way. And that's just my opinion. It starts with the citizens, giving them some respect, because they do have a tough job, and they put their life on the line every day, and people don't see that side of it. I have relatives in my family that are police officers, and they are darn good police officers. So I see both sides of it. That's just my opinion.
Okay, no problem. Okay, 6986. What can we do to better our relationship with the police? 6986. Go ahead, call.
My thing is, can you hear me, Martin?
Loud and clear.
I'm here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what they need to do, I believe they need to bring the death penalty back to the state of Illinois.
Listen, brother, that ain't what I asked. I asked, what can we do to better our relationship with the police? That's what I need. That's
to better our relationship?
Yeah, with the
as
police.
In the black community?
Yeah.
Well, black folks, these young folks in most fear everything. Ain't nothing you can do. I'm getting a lot of feedback, Martin.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Everybody put their phone on mute. So okay. So it's nothing. You gave me your answer. I'm gonna go on to the next one. Okay. Anyway, 6112. What can we do to better our community? To better our relationship with the police. 6112.
Well, Martin, from my experience, when I was over there in South Shore area, after Harith Augustus got killed by the police, I was invited to South Shore, and I don't know if they still have it, but they got the community engagement where it's a committee of community leaders that meet with the director of community engagement over, I believe that's the 2nd district, and that's South Shore 71st, and but they pretty much they had that going on, right? So I ain't seen nothing wrong with that, especially you had to have the right leaders and people had to be more consistent. I used to see the things that was the problem was that you would see somebody, because I used to be there all the time. You would see somebody in the leaders inside that community, but then you would see them coming at one time. So all the stuff that police is trying to do or the information or whatever. Another thing that was a tactic that they allowed the directors of the police engagement agency to do was,
hold it, Rep. I need you to tell me what can we do. Come on with it, man. Get to it. All right.
I'm telling you right now. Listen, I'm telling you right now. And another thing that I seen though was that every time you interact with the police always got to be in control. So what I think that the community needs to do, all the leaders, if we still engaging with community development and communication with the police, you can't let the police continue to be in control on how to interact with your community. They had all types of stuff coming up. They had conferences where people from community was coming in and saying what was going on and giving their ideas. But they was just using all the tactics to go and do what they wanted to do anyway. There was no real voices to sit up there and really say, look, this is how you're going to handle our community.
Rep, you still have not told me. I'm trying to get you to tell me what can we do. You telling me about a story. Could you tell me about a story?
Taking control. Listen, they already got engagements going on with the police, but you cannot continue to have engagement with the police, and the police have control on how they handle the beat, how they handle your community engagement in the schools. There's leaders in the community that are saying every day, that's all we hear. It's young people. I'm one of them young people that hear people talk about, they speak for us. If you speak for us and you working with the police, then you should be able to tell the police what we want to happen. Now, let them take control of what it is that they want to happen inside of our community. That's what I'm saying. We got to start getting some real respect and not just letting what we want to happen just go in the air and they act like they're going to work with what we want, but it's really not happening. They ain't not being consistent or nothing. We don't do that. We just talking. That's all we all doing, just talking.
All right.
So what kind of communication is we really trying to engage in if we ain't taking control?
Right. Okay. Next caller, 3268. What can we do to better our relationship with the police? Roosevelt, I think that's you. Yeah.
Well, like I said, Martin, before, I don't think it's up to us as the citizens to do anything, because those are the ones who are the professionals. Now, I can understand there's evil people out here, just whatever, but that's something that they signed on to. They should have known what they were getting into. But there's many of them who helped to cause this kind of mess and to cause this mistrust. So it's up to them to fix it. Like I said, first of all, I think that we need accountability. Anytime something goes wrong, they need to moderately take responsibility for it. They need to start with their supervisors. Anytime they catch an officer doing wrong, even if it's one or two small things, get rid of that officer before the problem festers and becomes bigger. And also, like if, unfortunately, God forbid, let's just say if there's ever a police shooting, if you don't want the community to think bad about the police, if you don't think police did anything wrong in the whole thing, release the body cam video right away. Release the officer's name even in the shooting right away. I think transparency and honesty go a long way with trust.
Good answer. Good answer. I got a last caller. Last caller, I know you came in late, but I'm going to go ahead and take you 7365. Answer the question, what can we do to have a better relationship with the police?
Martin, this is Steve from South Holland.
Hey, Steve, how you doing? Good to hear from you.
I'm
Go ahead.
doing okay. Well, I'm not gonna be long here, but I'm just got small words here. First thing that we need to talk to some of these our children here, because there are a lot of children out here that hate the police, and I think some of these I believe there are some of these parents that are teaching their kids to hate the police because of maybe their past experience with them. So maybe we need to look at that.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, okay. I think that's a legitimate statement. You know, I'm quite sure probably just about every black person probably had some type of bad experience with the police, no matter what state you in or something like or a city or something. So you correctly, you know. So I think it's some repairing on both ends, the cops as well as the citizens as well too. You know, and as the brother said it earlier, we have a problem with racism, and that's the number one problem right there, people. Racism is strictly hate. Hate. You discriminate against somebody because of their skin color. So that's a big problem as well. And I understand, as being a black man here in the city of Chicago, why there's so much hate toward law enforcement. And I understand it. I understand both sides. Things have not changed. Said more things change, the more they remain the same. Something has to give, and I'll say that. Thank you guys for calling in tonight. Appreciate you. I want to thank my trolls for calling in, or not calling in, being in the message box. You know, we always had these trolls, always. So good night, people. This is Live Uncut. Share this live video with your police friend or any friend that's in law enforcement. Share this with them. Maybe they can learn something. Maybe they can understand our point of view of seeing things. Thank you guys so much. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth.
And what?
And shame the devil. I love being black. Tell the truth and shame the devil. All right. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.